for watching Living Local. It is our Carolina Trust Financial Friday Community Panel. So excited. This happens the last Friday of every month. And so, of course, we have our friendly face of August from Carolina Trust with us. Who do we have for our special guest today?
So our special guests today are Hatton, who is the Director of Philanthropy at Brookgreen Gardens, and Chef Jamie, who is the owner of Johnny D's.
Who you see all the time. We're super excited to have her back with us. So obviously this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, so exciting time. What's everybody's plans for this weekend?
I'm working, and then Monday my friends invited me to a barbecue, so I'm heading on over there with my son after.
Are you cooking?
Hopefully not to. They haven't asked me to make anything yet, and I hope it stays that way.
Well, I have to ask, when you do go to other places and they cook instead of you, are you kind of judgy?
No, I don't, because I appreciate someone cooking for me. So I don't, whatever, usually, I mean, it's always good anyway.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's not fancy or something like that, but I'm not worried about that. I always just appreciate not having to cook myself. So.
I feel like I would worry if you came to my barbecue.
No,
I'd be
you
like,
never have to. You
Jamie,
can
I'm
invite
sorry.
me.
I feel the same way. I'm the same way. My sister's boyfriend is the cook, and so anytime that like we cook for him. I was just recently on vacation and I cooked breakfast one morning and I'm like, so Corey, how are them eggs? Like I'm always so nervous that like whatever I prepared is like not up to par.
Sure.
Listen, most of the chefs, we work all day and then we end up at Bojangles or Sonic or Wendy's or something like that, Taco Bell. So don't even worry about it because we are just appreciative that you cook for us.
That's good to know. Very good to know. What about you, Hatton? Do you have any plans for this weekend?
Nothing solid, just playing with kids, hanging out in Myrtle Beach. It's always a fun weekend.
When you say playing with kids, do you have
children?
Your children? Okay.
I have two, an 11-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl.
Oh, those are fun ages.
Yeah, they are. They like
fun.
to run around and play outside. So hopefully the weather will be nice.
Well, I usually do like a yearly mountain trip for Memorial Day weekend because everybody's coming in, so I'm kind of like going out.
Yeah.
But this year, obviously I'm pregnant, so like my window to go anywhere away is stopped, so I'm like, no, we got to stay here. What do we do? I don't know what to do. We're never here. So I have no plans, but I guess resting would be a good thing to do that day.
Exactly.
What about you, August?
I'll probably go to the river, the lake. I typically spend like Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July on the water and on the boat, and so I'm super thankful that we have that opportunity to go on the boat, and for anybody else that's looking for a boat, Carolina Trust has a loan for that, and we are running a loan promotion right now for our recreational vehicle loans, which include boats, RVs, and motorcycles for 3.99%.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a great rate if you're looking, for any kind of fun outdoor activity, and then we're also including ATVs. So anybody else that's looking to kind of get out on the water. I was going to say, if you don't have plans for Memorial Day, go buy a boat and then you'll have some plans,
Man.
My dad is actively looking for an RV right now. I mean, we've always had one growing up, and he hasn't had one for the past few years, and he is like dying. He's looking every day.
Well, after that last segment we did with Carolina Pines, I feel like so many people have been like, wow, that was such a cool place. And I'll be like, yeah, it makes you really want an RV, doesn't it?
It does.
It definitely made me want one.
Yeah, Carolina Pines is awesome.
Yeah.
It is. It's really neat. I had no idea. We got there and I was like, oh, it's like Disney World, you know, right here in our backyard.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that obviously, for most people, when they're looking to kind of buy these things, it sneaks up on you. And so then by that time, boat dealers, RV dealers, they know that people are kind of itching to buy around, June when it starts to actually get warm, as to where their prices are typically a little cheaper, like in the winter or so. But that's, the great thing with our loan promotion is that with that low rate right now, you can kind of lock in, and that kind of is going to offset some of that cost that you're going to pay, for the little added cost you might pay at a dealership.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, with it being Memorial Day weekend, we of course don't want to forget the reason for Memorial Day. So of course, it's to remember those who have, given their lives for the country. So of course, there's a lot of different events and viewing, opportunities for that in the area as well. So of course, we have to be thankful for those who gave their life. All right, guys. Well, we will be back. Stick with us right here on Living Local.
Summertime is here and outdoor recreation is bigger than ever. Interested in a boat, jet ski, motorcycle, ATV, or RV? We have a loan for that. Now through July 31st, check out our 3.99% rate. At Carolina Trust, we've been putting people ahead of profits since 1958.
Welcome back to Living Local. It is our Carolina Trust Financial Friday Community Panel Day, which is always so much fun. So we have Hatton and we have Chef Jamie here with us. So now that we're back, Hatton, I want to chat with you about Brookgreen. So you are at Brookgreen, you lucky, lucky person.
I know.
Right now is a beautiful time at Brookgreen. All the flowers are coming out, right?
It is gorgeous, and every day I drive in, I feel very lucky to be there. And during my lunch break, I walk around and see,
Right?
see the sculpture, go visit the animals.
Sure.
But right now, everything is in bloom, and it is beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure. I think, maybe this is just me. I get in this habit, which is a bad habit, that, every year with Night of 1,000 Candles, I always go to Brookgreen for that. It's the tradition. But sometimes I forget that it's a year-round thing going on. You always have different programs and different, festivals going on. And it's really great to go to any time of the year, right?
Yes, we've always been members, and so especially when we had children, it's such a great place to bring kids. They can run around, they can, especially the zoo, but they just love to be outside.
Right.
And so we've gone every year throughout the year, not just for special events.
Sure.
So it really is a year-round
Right.
destination.
And you guys have your, annual Memorial Day 5K, right? Isn't that coming up?
That's coming up on Sunday at 6.
Okay.
And
I've always wanted to do that. So the
this year,
route,
maybe not though, right?
no, well, yeah. I can walk, I can waddle through the race,
You can bring a stroller.
That's very true. But this goes through the actual gardens. It's the perfect 5K, right? Even if you're not a runner, you can walk, you can do whatever you want just to kind of go through that path. So that is awesome. And all the details are online, right?
That's right.
Very cool, very cool. Now, Chef Jamie, I'm sure you're asked all the time for recipes for Memorial Day, right? For cookouts and stuff. I know August was talking before we started rolling.
What do you cook?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm one of those people that always ends up just bringing a watermelon and cutting it up and hoping people just
in the person's kitchen. Be like,
Right,
can I borrow
yeah,
your
can
knife,
I-
your container, your bowl?
Exactly. I just brought this big old watermelon, but I feel like there's so many different. I feel like everything I know how to cook is hot, and then you go to a barbecue and you're sitting outside and you're already hot and muggy, and I'm like, what is something that I can bring that it's not going to make people hotter, but they're going to enjoy, you know?
I do feel like watermelon's a go-to.
Yeah,
do you have any
watermelon's
recipes
good.
with that?
So, not with, I have gotten really good at cutting a watermelon. I could do it in a record time, but that's about as far as that goes. No, it depends. If I was going to have a little barbecue at the house or a cookout, I like to do hamburgers and hot dogs and maybe a pasta dish for a side, like a pasta salad. And just because I have made all kinds of chicken breasts before and all kinds of things. And the adults are like, do you have any more hot dogs? And I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm, overreaching.
Overdoing
with all this.
it, yeah.
I like to keep it simple, like hamburgers and hot dogs. Sometimes I'll make our chili sauce that we used to make at our restaurant in New York to go over the hamburgers and the hot dogs. And then I usually do a pasta dish, maybe a hot pasta dish or cold, depends on how I feel, and it depends on how many kids are coming. Sure. If it's a lot of kids, I'll do my regular mac and cheese, with white American cheese. If there's a lot more adults coming, maybe I'll do the spicy buffalo chicken mac and cheese, something like that. But when I go places and if someone's like, can you bring something? I usually do go for a dip or pickled shrimp or just something that's easy to make you can serve it in a big bowl or one, tray, just so it's easy for the host too. I bring it there, pop it in the oven and warm it up, or I try to bring it as hot as I can already.
You have got this down to a science.
Yeah. I've had many parties, and I remember one time I cooked all this food, and everyone's like, "You have any more hot dogs?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, well, guys, now I'm just making you hot dogs."
Yeah, never mind.
That's it. Forget
slaved over
everything
this
else.
all
But your
day.
hot dogs and hamburgers, is there a secret, secret?
I like to cook the hot
recipe?
dogs on the grill, just to say, an outdoor grill over an open fire. And then the hamburgers, I just make sure to buy good quality beef. And I either, those boxes of frozen patties are fine, I guess. But I would much prefer to get something a little bit fresher than something that's been sitting in the freezer box. Yeah. But other than just a good seasoning, and I like to toast the buns. I have to take the extra step and toast the buns.
That makes sense.
So
I do like it when the buns are toasted.
Yeah, makes
does
sense.
make a difference. I feel like I could talk about food all day.
I know.
But I won't. Stick with us. We'll be right back when we come back here on Living Local. We're going to chat about Hatton's new blog. We'll be right back.
That's exciting. I can't wait.
Welcome back to Living Local. It is Carolina Trust Financial Friday Community Panel Day, which is always so much fun. I know before the break, Hatton, we talked about bringing up your blog, which I said was new, but really it's been around for a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a couple of years, and it's kind of my creative outlet, and I blog about all kinds of different topics, things that are happening in Myrtle Beach that I think are fun, wine, recipes, not like Jamie's recipes, more like things that are like how you know, like grilled chicken with some salt on it.
Sure,
It's
that's
more my
me.
speed,
That's what I would need.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun, and I have an Instagram account, and it's just when I have the time, I blog.
Sure. I know that you said that your blog first started out as kind of like a children baby blog, right?
Yes. It was all for new moms, but then when I wasn't a new mom, I didn't want to write about that anymore.
Right.
So
So now it's morphed over kind of as life has changed.
And I think blogging is such a neat way, you know, for, I guess, moms and, I mean, people in general to kind of like reach out and open up and give people kind of almost like this behind the scenes look into their lives, and it kind of helps people connect. I know with, you know, even my work blog, I just kind of work through some of the things, you know, on Success in the Bag, and I'm like, oh, you know, I bought a car and this was the steps that I took, and it, you know, helps other people read in, like you were talking about, other people that are looking in and reading kind of say, okay, this is the steps somebody else took, whether it's, you know, making chicken, or this is, oh, I read on that blog that when she came to this event, this is where she said to park, and this is where she said to go, and you've definitely got to try this. You know, it just gives people a little bit more of an insight, almost like you're kind of having a conversation with that person.
Do people ever request a certain topic?
I do get a lot of wine questions. My
Do
husband
you?
sells wine, so he's legit.
Okay.
So people ask me, and then I ask him, and then I answer.
That's awesome.
You just opened up a can of worms for me.
Yeah.
Because now, okay, I have to ask. You know, when people, because I'm not a big wine drinker, and so I don't know. I stick to like the really sweet, like Moscato, you know, muscadine grape wine. So when people do the little taste test and they do the swirly thing and then they sniff it and all, what is that supposed to do?
Well, when you taste wine, you do the swirl, and it opens it up, and then you sniff, and it's all about enjoying it and noting its characteristics, and I mean, serious wine drinkers can sniff
Do that
it.
forever.
Like my husband can tell you if it's a Cabernet or
That's so
where it's
crazy.
from. And, yeah.
My friend Lisa's trained to be a sommelier. Sommelier?
Yes.
Yes. And she talks to me about wine sometimes, and I'm just like, but it's so interesting, and she has like the whole kit now that she bought that like, you open up the little bottles and it smells, and you're supposed to be able to pick up all the smells, and some of them smell terrible. They're supposed to like train your nose to smell like bad things and good things. But I was going through them one day, and it was like, one was like, you know, a beautiful flower in the spring, and the other one was like rotten eggs, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, ooh, that smells good. So I was like going through them all, and it's this big book thing and it was so fascinating to me.
That is
so I'm learning a lot
fascinating.
from her, and we started doing we're going to start doing wine dinners and stuff. We're going to do the food, she's going to do the wine.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, so
That
we're
looks
really
like
excited
so
about
much
that.
fun.
So that should be fun. So, because I
wish
don't
I
know
was
a lot
better
about
about that.
wine.
No, yeah,
so,
I
and
don't
she
either.
does, so I'll learn a lot, and then, you know, we're gonna have
Yeah.
a lot of fun doing it. We had a great time when we did our little faux dinner that we did, so.
Well, and when
Yeah.
you compare what goes good with what,
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool skill, because I'm like, well, the same
Oh, yeah,
wine
she did
for
a great
everything,
job,
you know?
Yeah, she had this, I had a vanilla cheesecake, and she paired a Riesling with it, and I couldn't believe how much the Riesling made the cheesecake taste so much, I don't even say better, like so much more like
It's like
in your
fuller.
It
No, I
does.
think that's a really cool
Which is,
skill.
it's such a fun, you know, a fun way to spend time. And I know earlier you were talking about the Brookgreen Garden, you know, lights that y'all are having this summer.
Yes.
And like we were saying earlier, I've only ever really been to Night of 1,000 Candles. So
Right.
I'm always looking for, you know, new things like that to share on my blog, and then just to kind of go and enjoy too. So
Yeah.
Well, Hatton, tell us a little bit about that.
So this summer, Brookgreen is going to have an event called Summer Light Art by Night, and it's mid-June through mid-August, and it's Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in the evening, live music and food, and there will be light displays throughout the gardens put on
Very nice.
by our exhibitors.
You can't go wrong with that.
no.
Yeah,
It's a great
so it'll
date.
be fun.
Yeah.
It's great for family. It's
Yeah.
great for everything.
Yes,
I just
it-
love Brookgreen.
And it's beautiful at night.
Sure.
So, and it's cooler at
Yes.
night.
Yeah.
So
But
I
not
think it'll
cold
be really
like Night of
true.
1,000 Candles.
Right,
That's
but
what
not
it's called.
cold, yes.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be really popular and a fun way to experience Brookgreen.
Well, thanks for telling us about that.
Yeah.
And of course, thank you both for being on the show today.
course,
We've enjoyed you both. All right, you guys. Well, thanks so much for watching Living Local today. We'll see you next time.